didn't know anything about Dromo baby or anything, but I think that the internet has the AI. It just picks the algorithm of what you usually search, like babies, clothes, anything about baby pregnancy, and I did a lot of that when I was pregnant. So I think it just came up on my feed. And then I watched the story and I liked it. I don't remember exactly which one, but I went through a lot of the stories that day. And I think that same day I texted Joy. And she said, I actually thought it's something they ask you of or you have to qualify for it per some means. So I asked her if there's anything that qualifies someone. She said, oh, just being a mother or a guardian or anybody who has something to do with a child. So I said, okay, then if she has time, I can come through. So I just came for the interview.
I found out about Normal Baby, like she mentioned. It just appeared on my Instagram feed. I think it came as a sponsored ad. And it was my favorite that actually came up. Because the part of the video that was used to advertise it was, and I went to my mother said, Fabian to a new one, Fabian to a check. I was like, what's this all about? So I clicked on the page and this was just like the advert for it to now be published. I said, I'm looking for it. So I immediately clicked follow. And then I watched the video. I was like, this is actually quite interesting. I wonder, like she said, how do you get on it? You know, what do you have to do? Because I'm a twin mom blogger. So I figured, okay, maybe this is something that I would like to do. Then the second one I saw was my other fellow twin mom blogger, talkative mom, Eno. So I watched Eno's one. I was like, the way Eno is, like, I really, really enjoy hers. So I was really looking forward to that. Oh, I would really like to be on this, this show because it's really interesting. And then I got the call, and then I'm here.
It also appeared as a feed on my Instagram. So one time I was talking to my sister about it. I was like, oh, it's a page she also follows. She follows it. I was like, okay. Then I'll just glance through and then, and then as I was watching, I was like, hey, wow, like people have experiences. You think you have experiences, but then others do have, experiences and they are really sharing it. So I didn't want to share anything personally because of what I went through. But then it was my sister who insisted that it's been over a year, you need to share. Other people are sharing their stories. You also need to, tell people about yours. I still didn't want to. Then she said, I'll make the call. So when you get the call, just go. So I thought she was joking. And then Joy contacted me. And then I was like, okay. Then that's how I actually I came into the interview, yes. Through that, I think I educated, if not everybody, some people got to know what DVT was about. Some other people too have. I advise that they listen to their bodies, and I think that's something too. I think other people have learned from everything. I think it was a good thing she pushed me to share it because it was bottled up inside, and then I just needed it to come out. Yes.
So unfortunately, I don't have stories like yours. I was asleep when Obi called me over an email that had been sent to him. So whilst advising him, he told me about the program. And I said, okay, let me go and check. And I'm like, and you haven't interviewed me. But me too, I have a story to tell. And they're like, oh, okay. I mean, if you are free on Sunday, we are shooting, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, I'm in. So I just dressed up and came. But before, I watched a few of the episodes, and I liked the one they did at the Nima market for the women. And because of the breastfeeding thing we were talking about, I had such a journey with my own breastfeeding and my sons. So I was like, oh, wow. So I wasn't the only one who had issues with the breast milk coming and not coming and coming and not coming. So I think I liked the stories that they shared about the breast milk situation, yeah. Okay, so I have 2 children, 16 and 2. 16 from a 10-year marriage that didn't work, and 2 from a relationship that I don't know where it's going. But both kids were premature. But for the first one, I was younger, I was energetic, I was strong, so I didn't feel so much pain, so much stress. But this particular one, that was something I had never seen before. Both premature, one was 2.0 when he was born, and then the smaller one was 1.0. He was a day to 7 months. He was really in a hurry to come out. But before he came out, I had a very terrible pregnancy. I think it's because of the age, because I was almost 40 when I got pregnant. So my body couldn't take a lot of things. And my doctor had already told me that I'm not one of those that can carry a baby till the end of the term. So I knew he would come, but I didn't know how quickly he would come. So, and I was working 9-hour shifts a day, driving to Jolu every day from Spintex. So it wasn't easy at all. And then one day, and something weird, when I was pregnant, I was always angry. If you don't do something well, I just get so angry. So one day, I realized that those who were sweeping the house didn't really sweep well. I went to take the broom. I wish somebody had told me that if you were pregnant, you're not supposed to bend. I didn't know anything. Even though I had a child before, I didn't know anything. When I had my first child, I was teaching in a village. I had my students sweeping here and there, doing everything for me, basically. So this one, I did everything myself. And I took a broom, swept, scrubbed and everything, went to work, and my body was just my body was just dying. So I came back home, went to the hospital, and the doctor was like, no, let me just observe you overnight and see what happened. And then the next day, my water broke. And that was a day to, I think, that was like 15 days to that day to the 7th month. So I was just at the hospital, bed rest. I never knew bed rest was that difficult. I actually thought I was going to just sleep and eat and sleep and eat. But my legs were hung up, my head was down there, my body was just so tired. The pregnancy was so difficult. My water just kept coming. It just kept coming until the baby couldn't stay anymore, and then he decided to just come. So when he came, was just in the doctor's palm like that. He was put in an ambulance and taken to Kolebu. Another thing that just drove me crazy. I'm like, Kolebu, Jesus, at 3 a.m., my son is going to die. Like, who is going to be at Kolebu at this time? I really didn't know anything about NICU or anything. I had no idea that anything existed like NICU. No. So, yeah, so that was my mind. I mean, but I realized in the pregnancy and the time that he came that my son is actually a seer. He sees my problems and he takes me out of it. Whilst we were in the hospital, my insurance came to tell me that I'm going to be there for just 15 days. After 15 days, I'm going to pay the bill. And on the 15th day, he came. When we were at NICU, we were there for 25 days. And that was how long my insurance was going to last. And on the 25th day, we were discharged. So out of my last born, he's gifted in a way. So I don't joke with him at all. Yes, okay, so because he is recent, so the memories are still fresh. For me, I was young, I was strong, I was energetic, I didn't feel anything. For this one, I even had this excessive vomiting, and it was crazy. His was extreme. Me, I was young and fresh, so I mean, I didn't feel any pain. I think being a mother is beautiful. Being a mother is sweet. You worry, you are happy, you worry, you are happy, but that's normal human life. So being a mother is, I love being a mother. I don't want to get pregnant again. I mean, doctors have even advised not to. So even though I wish I had a girl, I don't have a girl, I have boys. But I think it's okay. Yeah, I don't want to get pregnant again. It was really, really difficult.
I would choose being a mother over being pregnant. The reason why I say that is I'm a very bubbly, lively, happy-go-lucky, all over the place kind of person. But when I'm pregnant, I'm a different person altogether. I'm moody and I'm slow. Like the pregnancy, okay, hate is a strong word, so let me rephrase. What I strongly dislike about being pregnant is how slow and how it takes over my body and I can't control myself. Because I can't move, I can't, I don't get sick or anything. I don't, really go through the typical pregnancy troubles, but it's just the fact that I have become slow and then I've become fat and I'm just looking like one ball of, because both pregnancies were really huge. Like as you see me now, looking very fine and poised. If you saw how I looked when I was pregnant, you would not recognize me. So that I don't like being pregnant, but I would choose being a mother or motherhood, the journey of being a motherhood more than being pregnant, because then now you see the fruit of your labor. Like you actually can now see what it is, going through the motions, raising them, feeding them, being around them. So it's just when you just see them sitting around or misbehaving and you just catch yourself in a moment where you just look at them and go like, so like, this is mine. That feeling, I would choose that over being pregnant.
Well, I think pregnancy and giving birth or taking care of the baby have their own place, like sincerely, for me. But then, with my experience taking care of my only girl, I would choose pregnancy over taking care of that girl, like a million times and over. I like it. It's amazing. Like I said, they all have their place. But with pregnancy, at least it was just me, some baby in my womb, and my husband. You want to go somewhere, you get your bag, you get your bottle that you spit in. That was just the problem. And then you move. Anything, I mean, when you're sleeping, you have your discomfort and everything, but you are sleeping alone. You wake up anytime you want, you clean when you want. Like, I mean, everything is basically per what you want. But once they come out, I like the baby stage from day 1 till, let's say, 6 months or 5 when they start crawling. Then everything is just over for me already. And it's not going to get any better.
Yeah.
Like the previous experiences. It gets worse and worse. So I always I would prefer pregnancy over and over.
I prefer motherhood to pregnancy because I go through a lot when I'm pregnant. And I keep track of time. Like I count the days, I count the hours, I count the minutes, because I'm either in the hospital, I'm getting shots, I'm being poked. I think it's traumatizing for me, and I don't like it. I can't just wait for 1 week to pass, another week, then maybe a full month. And I'm like, okay, 4 more months to go, then 3 more. I don't really like it. Like, I won't lie to you, I don't like it. I like it when the baby is out, and then you know that, yes, we are done. Like, let's move on to something else. Yeah, and it stresses my husband out, so I don't really like getting pregnant because I keep on, every week I say, oh, the baby is a tomato now. More, like, okay, so next thing we're like, when are we getting to watermelon stage? Because he wants to get to watermelon stage. Because he's tired, I'm also tired. So I feel I just want the baby to come out and then we can go home. And I like that we can go home stage too, because both babies were preemies, and so the go home stage is like a big deal for me, yes. Yeah. I didn't have a problem with that because my mother is a YouTube mom. So we were mostly on the same page. Or she will even come and tell me that I read this on YouTube, I saw this on YouTube, and so this is how we are going to do it. So I didn't have a problem with that. And then because my child was preemie, we had so many things we were not supposed to do to him. So she listened, and when we came home, she did exactly that. And even when we have a problem, she would tell me, let's call the doctor, we want to be sure, because this is a preemie and this is her precious grandson. My mother is more into the baby than sometimes I'm into the baby. My sister will be like, is my sister, is your daughter the surrogate? Because I don't understand. Because everything, like the baby, you are so much into the baby. So I didn't really have a problem with the problem people have with their mom saying, let's do the traditional way or this thing. We always did everything the Google way, the YouTube way, or the doctor's way. So I can't really say I had a problem with that.
And I can relate to what she said, because I also had a premature baby. When you are the NICU, they actually advise you not to listen to anybody, even your mom. They tell you not to listen to them because they have this archaic way of doing things. And in their time, premature babies were banished. They were actually thrown into the forest. So we presume that they don't really know how to take care of premature babies. So they advise you not to listen to, and they tell you exactly what to do. And when you follow, your child will be, with this, my child is not pooping, my child is not pooping. People will now be pouring hot water into their anus, and that thing is so stressful. But the baby will poop when he wants to poop. And that's what we were told, and that's exactly what happened. My mom, like she said, my mom is not even here. And she told me, do not listen to anybody. That's what she told me. She said, your aunties are in the village. They don't know much. You are in the city. You city people, you do things differently for those who are in the village. Something that will work for the baby in the village will not work for the baby in the city. So please, if you have any problem, talk to your doctor. So what I did, I took NICU doctors. I have everybody's number on my phone. I'll call, if I call one, he doesn't pick, I'll call two. I'll call till I get somebody to talk to. Baby is not pooping, or his stomach is so tight. Oh, give him this, give him that, turn him this way, turn him that way. The baby will poop. So, yeah, I mean, if you follow what happened to my oldest son, so the reason I don't talk about him much because I looked after him for about 6 months and I had to go to the village. I didn't want to raise him in the village, so I left him here in Accra with my sister and went. But before I went, there's a novel. My auntie, who was not really giving birth before, was the one taking care of me. She was just pouring water on it, pouring the water on it, and the thing was big. It was not going down. But my neighbor who saw me one day said, the baby's navel is too big. Is that what I want? And I said, no, but we've put the water on it, it's not going. So she came, put hot water in a towel and was sort of massaging the navel. And for about a week, the navel started going down. So I realized that even my auntie who came from the village was not helping. So I learned that. But for this baby, his navel actually fell at NICU, and they told me what to do with the krobeu and all those things. So I didn't have to put any hot water on him. Yeah. So that's the thing. Apart from that woman who came to help me with the navel issue, I didn't. Nobody.
I didn't really have that issue with people telling me what to do and all that. Which surprised me because I actually expected my mother to do that, knowing the kind of woman she is, but she was very accommodating in terms of, Mommy, they said we shouldn't do it like this. But there were also some things that I just turned a blind eye. Like I didn't, because for me, I didn't, especially with bathing. You know, when I had my daughter, she had this, like bathing my daughter was a whole setup. You know, you have to bring her bathtub, you lay towel first, bring her bathtub, and you bring one bucket cold water, one bucket hot water, the pail, then ideal milk tin, she will,
the whole under.
Then her face towel, I have to take out her clothes, lay it out, her, I had a whole basket where her cream, her comb, her, like everything. I have to lay the whole setup and then allow this man. And I didn't understand the whole thing about the ideal milk tin washing. She's how many weeks old? What is
exactly
that you are? You have to watch it. And I said, you know what? This is not a time for me to fight her about this. Because that bathing time, it was 1 hour. Like she would massage her, and that whole thing about the massage. Because I also read I saw a few videos where people overly massaged the baby, and then the hand never became straight. I said, no, I was so trained, because the child is tired. I said, how is the child tired? I'm the one who gave birth. How is she tired? I said, no, because she's been like this inside you. So every day you have to stretch her. I'm not telling you to do. Like she would stretch her limbs. Like every body part took like 5 minutes, 10 minutes to make sure that she is. And now she take the hot water, bath her. My daughter will eat, poop, sleep, wake up within that 1 hour, and that gave me time to also eat, bath, pump milk. So for that one, she had her opinion about how to bath a girl, and I didn't. So I didn't even bother trying to fight her on that one. Now I just closed my mind and say, you know what, have your way, you are the grandmother, because I don't know how to bath a baby like that. I said, but why do you have to bend and just take her into the bathtub or the shower or put up a table, so that your back, your waist, and then bath her quickly and then let's move. Like there's no time to waste. So now when I had the twins, we had a discussion. I said, look, this 1 hour behavior, we have to realign because they are two. I need them to be on the same schedule. I cannot breastfeed one and then one is sleeping. Like it would distort my sleeping, my everything. So I really need us to be on the schedule. So they came. She didn't even listen to anything that I said. She was still doing this 1 hour bathing. Now after some time, I told her, look, we are getting tired of this bathing. Aren't you tired? You are getting weaker. She didn't even hesitate. She now went to buy this bath stand where, it's a bath stand and then there at the bottom you can put. She just bought that. I said, now you don't have to be bending. The 1 hour reduced, and then so there she listened to me. But in the beginning, I just like, you know what? And another thing that I also didn't fight her on was, we fought small, but I had to listen to her was on feeding the child. My mother never thought my children were ever full. Like everything you have to, we are sure someone made press the stomach. There's still air. I said, but how do you press the child's stomach and know that there's air in there? But she's like, no, the child, and I was flowing, like I was not struggling with breast milk with my daughter. But she always felt that, man kakra, then she say, topper. Those two words, if you say to me, it used to take me off. But then again, I just had to, and then with the boys, I wasn't flowing as much, so I had to supplement with formula, and there I just allowed her. One day my husband came and was like, look, you are stressed, you are tired, the boys are not getting enough, just buy the milk. I didn't even hesitate, because it's the second time around. It's not now that I come to fight over. So I just accepted those opinions, bought the formula, and then even now I'm home. Like if I had a doctor's appointment and I left the house for like an hour or two, I'll leave at a time where they've eaten. So by the time I come back, it's time for another feed. But when I come back, she has fed them like twice already within that 2 hours because she felt and swam. I mean, those were the only two things basically that I had to struggle with, but apart from that, I didn't really.
Well, for me, I didn't really have that problem because I'm a nurse, and then I was a last born. So I had seen a lot of the things that my mother had done with my elder sister's children, and we are all girls, so I've seen a lot. And my elder sisters, I mean, we are not a typical old-fashioned. I mean, like we grew up a little with a certain background. So what my sisters wanted my mom to do were quite contemporary, let me say. So from my first sister, the eldest, I had learned that my mother was very accommodative with the things. My sister wanted this way, don't do it this way, don't do it that way, because she learned a lot and all of that. So I didn't really have a problem with my mom wanting me to do anything or anything of that sort. And we always had a nuclear family. So I didn't have any aunties coming in to also bring their opinions. And also, when it got to my turn, like I said, my mom was quite old. So I didn't really even stay with her that much. So it was just me and my husband. So I didn't have that problem. But I think one thing I've noticed is that the things that our parents or some people's parents try to advise their kids on when it comes to the babies, like the baby stretching of the baby and all of that. I mean, any baby can grow without being stretched. A lot of babies will grow up perfectly fine. In fact, you actually increase your chances of getting something broken or something if you stretch and you don't stretch it well. But then, you see, when babies are in the womb, they don't have calcified bones, like they are soft. God made it like that. He knows what he's doing. Like, we are no wiser than him. Yeah, but I think once they come out, God in his own wisdom makes it stronger so that they can accommodate all the things that will come. And our parents think when they stretch them, they get stronger. It is true, because they are muscles. And the more you put muscles in a certain lifestyle, they adjust. So that's why if you have a big tummy and you exercise, you see it like living up to what you are teaching it. So it actually works, but you can be perfectly fine with a lot of them. Yes. It's been completely depressing. Not depressing in the medical term, really, but just down. Like, it's not been fun. I wouldn't wish another person did the job for me, but it wasn't easy, because you are with her from morning till evening, then repeat times 1, times 2, times 3, 12 months, another 12 months, 24 months, back to back. You can't go out, because if you go out, you need a lot of planning. You have to plan a lot. You have to think ahead of what might happen, what might not happen, what will probably not happen and probably happen. Like, a lot of thinking that I feel like was very draining. Then once she started talking and saying a few words and moving about so independently, it's become even more troubling, because now when you take her out, you feel embarrassed. She will embarrass you, because she would walk, like if you go to a typical shopping mall, she will walk with her basket, try to pick stuff herself, and if you try to stop her, she'll throw a whole tantrum, which is like, it's tiring, because she's heavy. She's very built, like she's very thick, like the dad. So she's not a small baby like you could just carry and shush, like, oh, stop that, we'll go home very soon. She will fight her way out from wherever you put her, and she will cry it out, and she will hit herself on the floor. I actually at a point thought she's probably not okay. Like, my husband said, stop that. I was like, is she okay? So I took a test on autistic children. Not autism has different levels. There are hyper children that are super hyper. So I thought maybe she's like that, but the test told me that, listen, you don't have a problem. It's just that she's super hyper. And from the previous interviews, what the ladies were saying, you get tempted to try and shush them because they will embarrass you. Someone would say to you that, what is your child doing? Get her together. But it's not that simple. So at a point, you are torn between, should I just leave her be and let her be the person that she is? Or should I try and, because you don't know which one will go which way or whatever it is. So it's motherhood for me. It's been challenging. It's hard. It's very, very hard. I get very clueless as to what exactly to do. There was one morning I woke up, the dad was going to work. I was actually sleeping when the dad said, okay, I'm going to work and everything. He closed the door and my daughter just came down from her bed and hit herself on the floor, started crying, like wailing. Serious one. I was surprised because that was the first time. And for like 5 minutes, I was on the bed just like thinking like, what is happening? What could be wrong? And then she was going to a crèche. So I later in the day, I went to the teacher, who is a much older lady with older kids, just 3 and 2 or something. So I asked her that this is what I experienced this morning, and I don't know what to do. What is happening to her? Why is she behaving like that? So I read a lot of things, and I am the type that I like to solve my issues myself before I try to seek help. So when it's over me, then I'll try and seek for help. But this one is hard.
But you know, when you have a child like that, it is very easy to detect when they are sick.
Yes.
And
yes.
that's one thing that I always, I don't know whether to pride myself with it or, because my son is hyper. My oldest son he was a normal child, but this one is different. This particular one, he's different. When he's angry, he does his stomach. Yep. And when and I think he's gifted in a way that when he feels other people suffering, he becomes restless. So when you see him restless, I used to be worried until his dad told me, look, your son has empathy for suffering in the world. So my son's father is weird as well. So when you see him restless, don't be so worried. And anytime he's dull, it means he's sick. Because if he is not, he's all over the place. He doesn't eat. He eats when he wants to eat. If he doesn't want to, you can do all the acrobatics, tell all the stories, give all the bribes. He will not eat. And I was even worried because his weight was not very good. And I went to the hospital, and we frequent the hospital a lot because he can't breathe. And the doctor said, look, as long as he's playing and he's active, don't worry. Just make sure he drinks a lot of water. And that's it. So as for hyper kids, they give us clues. And I think we should be proud that we have such kids, yeah.
I mean, like, I can relate with how she's saying that when he's angry, the older twin, when he's angry, then chest out, stomach out. Then he do his head like this, like he's about to blow you.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are you going like, who do you think you are? But like we're saying, it's motherhood, or parenting is tough. And I think the toughest part for me is how to raise them up well. Because my mother was the strictest person ever. Those who know me know my mother, they know that woman was hard. But now as a grandmother, it's a different story. Yeah. When you want to beat your child, she tell you, Kola, he doesn't understand anything. He's only 2 years old, and she's only this. I said, look, you didn't think that when you were disciplining me at the age that I was like them. So, but then again, like I always worry that, I always tell her that you is by God's grace that your strictness, because I know a lot of kids whose parents were strict, they became rebellious.
Yeah.
Like rebellious. I know many. But then again, I always say that it's just by God's grace that I turned out the way I turned out. I was bad small, but by God's grace, we have been saved. I got the friends that were good enough around. I got good company to help guide me. And that's my fear for my kids. Because what they know today is different from when I was 5, my daughter turned 5 on Friday, and the things that she knows and she can say, and sometimes, and it's not like I taught her. Yesterday, I took her to the seamstress to measure her for her uniform. And there was this poster, like a wooden poster, where the lady had posed. Her hands were in her pockets. And then she had her legs in a certain way. My daughter stood in front of that poster, watched her for a few seconds, and then copied the pose, stood there and did the exact same thing. And then for a minute, I just got stopped in my tracks, like, what is she doing? So I was about to take out my phone, and then she, went about playing like a kid. But then it just occurred to me that these kids, the things that they are exposed to, and it wasn't a bad poster, it was a nice, decent, but it just occurred to me how the things that they're exposed to, you can't control it. There are a few things where we made her start to use an iPad early. By one, she was already conversant with using an iPad because we knew at that point that was what was good for us, because then you give her an iPad, you have your things to do. So she picked up a lot of vocabulary. That was the good side about it. She picked a lot of vocabulary. She could speak faster than her peers. There were some things that she could do faster than other people. But then again, now the addiction now became like, if you take her iPad away from her, it is rolling on the floor, hitting her head, doing all sorts of things. And it was tough to now try and put a structure to the iPad usage. Now with the boys as well, they become like crack addicts. Like, you take, and they can't, and what even is difficult is they don't understand that light connects to internet, connects to iPad.
No, they don't
care. There's no internet.
They don't care.
There's no iPad.
They don't care.
The morning, as soon as they come, mommy, iPad.
They don't care.
No, so at first we used to just give it to them to get out of our way.
Yeah.
But I realized that like they are getting too addicted to these things. But I didn't get that at that age. It was by the fireside, Peter Kule, outside playing. So you can't get addicted with that. So that's my fear, like how to, structure and make sure that whatever is going on, because there were a few times, for example, even on the iPad, they learn a lot, but they are picking, I got to a point my daughter started saying, oh, mommy, you're so silly. One day I just I grabbed the iPad, dropped it, I pulled it, and I said, yo, do not ever in your life tell me that somebody is silly. But then again, I started, paying more attention to what she was listening to. And this all happened during the lockdown. That really gave me the opportunity to be intentional about what they are listening to. I realized that this guy called Blippi, every time he said, oh, this thing is so silly. And then she picked that up. And I said, okay, I understand why he's saying that. But in our Ghanaian context, how dare you tell someone that the person is an insult. But then in his context, it is like, oh, you're being so like, jealous also. So I don't know, this is how to say it. You don't have to use certain words. Just these past few weeks, her new things, hey, yo, man.
I just leave them.
Hey, yo, man.
I just leave them. You see, I'm a very liberal mother. Because like you said, your mom was strict. My mom was horrible. I mean, the beating, and I can't even, and I have very quick temper, so I feel like if I get angry, I might hurt my kids. So I just let go. I'm a very liberal. My older son will tell you, I don't have time to beat you. What I used to do was deny them their pleasures, as in my laptop or your laptop or the phone or whatever. But I get tired too, so I just let them be. Now, my youngest takes my phone. He knows how to do the thing to open he knows the YouTube, whatever to go. He watches these kids unboxing toys and stuff like that. He watches all that. Nee used to watch Tarzan. That was his favorite. He watched and started walking with his fingers on the floor. That was his. But one thing I realized was that as they grow out of certain habits. So that's what I'm using to console myself. The
thing, fortunately for me, my son is hyperactive, but he's an easy baby. I always say Kofi is an easy baby because when people say my baby was like this, I'm like, I didn't have it like that. Breastfeeding was a breeze. Weaning was a breeze. He sleeps throughout the night, right from birth. He sleeps throughout the night. So 9:30 he will sleep. But then if he doesn't sleep, I'll take a bath, then we'll all go and lie down. He'll sleep. He'll sleep throughout the night. Sometimes he'll even wake up, drink water, and go back to sleep. I've seen him do that thing. He'll wake up, drink water, he'll go back to sleep. And the sleep thing has been like that since he was born. So, wake up to breastfeed your baby. I don't really get that concept. And then weaning, it took 2 days, and that was it. The first day, he didn't make a fast. The second day, he made a fast. His father came for him. That was it. And that was it. Weaning was over. And then feeding him was fine. And his attitude, perfect. He laughs a lot. So everything is a game for us. When I'm going to give him a bath, there's something I say. Then we go and take a bath. When it's time for diaper change, there's something I say, so he knows it's a diaper change. But aside that, when it comes to his throwing stuff about, he knows no, but he doesn't like no. No means yes for him. He will do it. And he likes plugs, especially the wires and that's what he likes. Things that can blow up or electrocute him. Those are the things that he likes the most. But then all in all, I mean, I'll say it's been a breeze, but I'm always hoping something worse is happening, because it's like, why is he like that? Why is he not like other children? So now I'm afraid, what if as he's growing, now the bad side will start? Yes. So that's what I'm really praying against. But then all in all,
My problem also is the fact that my kids are nocturnal babies. So, and unfortunately for me, when I come back from work, I'm really, and their father, because when I come back from work, I'm really tired. So I just go take my bath, and by 7 I'm sleeping, because at 6 I have to go back to work. And sometimes I realize that they are about like 2. I don't know how to stop them from being nocturnal children. But hopefully now that school is coming back, maybe that thing will go away. But my son is an artist, the older one, and he draws into the night. He can draw till morning before he sleeps. And now the younger one is picking that after him. So whilst his brother is up, he doesn't see why he should come and sleep. So he will just be with him till maybe like 2, 3, when he can't take it anymore, and then he will come to bed. But the oldest, 5 a.m. before he...
And one thing about my son, if you put him at your back, that's it. His behavior changes. He's cool. Like, he's like a koala. You know, like whenever I put him on my back, my sister will be like, the koala has come. Like, he'll be there, quiet. So when we go shopping, he likes to, be in the car, go shopping. He wants to go to the shop with you. But he can only be active like 5 minutes. He's out. He will sleep. You just put him on your back and he's asleep. So I shop with him at my back. Everything is back thing. When you pick the cloth, come and then he's happy.
You know, you carry her and her legs are hanging, like she's straight, like she's like.
No. He doesn't like the trolley.
It's crazy.
You know, the trolley that you put. No. Put him at your back. He wants to shop behind you.
I want that baby. Me, I have, in terms of surprise, I'm surprised that being pregnant, giving birth is not smooth. Like, it's not something like you do and you do, like the people say, oh, you're not you suffering home. There's no you suffering home. You can never, like the other lady was saying, even at 60, when you're blessed to be 100 and your children are 60, they will still come to you. I think it actually gets worse with years going up, like uni. Imagine your children in this contemporary world that we find ourselves, where even as babies, they are this like open to so much in the uni, which if some are privileged, wouldn't even be around you, some out of the country. Like, it blows my mind. I get scared that, God, how am I going to do this? Because technology, things are just getting better and better. I don't know if they give us a special medicine or something like that, because almost everybody's baby is something, like, it's something. So for me, it's been surprising, the whole motherhood thing. I thought it was something, I didn't really think into it. I felt, okay, you give birth, but it's big. It's a whole industry.
I think my sense of awareness has been sharpened, because I have sleep problems, all right, but when I sleep too, I sleep. But with the baby, I'm always alert, because the older one fell once he was actually on me when he fell. So I think unconsciously I'm just listening to if he's awake or if he's turning, and the moment my sense tells me that he's awake. He's actually truly awake. So that part of my conditioning has increased. And I think I was also surprised that pregnancy was really that difficult at a certain age. When I was younger, it was smooth. The only problem I have with my oldest son was I had nosebleeds. That was it. But with this particular one, it was just crazy. It was just crazy.
I'm surprised. I'm so surprised I can take care of another child. Like something so tiny, and you know, I mean, the whole thing is overwhelming. You know, like you don't get a memo, nothing. No, there's no brochure, nothing. You just go in pregnant. You come out with a bundle, and then you have to. Now this human being is your responsibility. If you fail at it, that's it. And you are thinking, it's the whole thing has been quite challenging, I would say, and it's been nice as well. But then every day, you don't think about yourself anymore. You're thinking about somebody else, and that's what this thing is. Right now I'm thinking about him. I'm talking about him. So I see myself talking about him all the time. And I'm like, now I'm becoming boring. The only thing I talk about is him. Like his life is revolving around me.
I think for me, one thing that I have been surprised about myself is the fact that I can be a patient person. I was very impatient. I used to be very spontaneous. Like if you call me cancer, let's go here. I'm gone. You know, I need to make a decision. I make it. I move. Like no time, no dulling, no wasting of time. But now that I have kids, I'm surprised that I can actually assess a situation, analyze it first before I, carry out whatever it is. For example, when they are throwing tantrums or when they are misbehaving. Like if my husband should appear on the scene right now, you come, hey, why are you doing this? Then you scatter the whole place. But because I'm sitting there and I have already seen what transpired before the behavior, I'm able to deal with it better. Which at first I was not good at. And then also the fact that I thought I would be strict. But I'm not hard, sir.
Yeah.
Like I'm really not that as hard as like. One of my juniors is sitting here and she will testify, like in high school, I was one of those like people think it's like she's hard though. I'm not hard like that.
I felt sad when I hit him. I'm like,
I don't like it when my kids are crying. I don't want to hear my baby cry at all. So I would not want to do anything that would make him cry.
I had planned in my head that my children would get the beating when they do the wrong thing. And now when I hit him, I do the beating, and then I'm like, what did I just do? You know, like when you watch movies, the parents will slap the child and say, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like, why did you say you are sorry? But then the other time I was like, why am I sad? Why am I about to say I'm sorry? It's
I'll beat you, but now I beat with a reason why I'm
yes.
Especially my daughter, I'll give it to you, then I'll call you. Do you know why I did this? You should understand why I did this. Because I had a friend who used to think that, you can't stand it. When you go to a house, all her children will be in military uniform. One lower line, that. But now it's like, I said, you become soft, and then my husband's like, are you all of a sudden, I thought you would be the bad cop, I'll be the good cop. But now there's like, I'm not the mellow one, and no, don't beat them, it's okay, treat them this way, that kind of thing. So, yeah.
You take it you grow. So as even you learn a lot of things from firstborn, secondborn, or wherever. But even within one child, you grow with what they want, what is important for them, what you should do, what you should not do. So it gets better.